Peace, family. So, welcome you to another edition of Royale X Politikin. I'm your host, DeWaun E. One thing for sure, we are in a mode of collective work and responsibility, meaning that we all have a role to play in this community, in this culture that we live by, in this nation that we live in. It's vital for everybody to find their purpose. And then you understand that your success is my success. When you start looking at it like, it's a communal thing, then you start applying yourself differently. And that's where we at, ladies and gentlemen. We got to be thinking about how we going to be making a difference, how we going to move this needle and advance the mission of all of us together as one. So when you think about everybody else and not just think about yourself, you're already winning. And that's what the principles of Ujima teaches us, right? And this is why it's so important that we follow and practice collective work of responsibility. We practice coming together as one and being a difference and leaving a legacy behind for future generations. So, what are you going to do? What role are you going to play? How are you going to move the culture forward? All right. So, once again, we're here, man, with a special edition. I'm here with my brother, Leon Benson, right? The community organizer, the re-entry member, right? All things, right? The brother is doing some amazing work, not just in the state of Michigan, but he's doing things nationally. How you doing, my brother?
Hey man, what's going on, man?
Yeah, yes,
What's
sir,
going
man.
on, my brother?
All
Yeah,
is well. All
my
is well.
Flintstonian, you know what
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, and that's another thing. The brother from Flint. I don't think if you don't know, Mr. Benson, for those who don't, why don't you introduce yourself and tell them who you are?
My name is Leon Benson. Definitely, I'm from Flint, Michigan, from the north side, West Pad, Civic Hood, Cook Hood, those areas, And, I went to Civic Park Elementary School. I went to Longfellow. I went to Northern. And, I really love the city of Flint. Uh, it's really it's my backbone, I came up in this soil.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
It's just like, it's just in my blood, And I got it out the crates from back then. We was living on Lindale and Patterson over in that area.
Shout out to Londale and Patton.
Hey,
Absolutely.
the sad thing though, is I'm also an exoneree.
Mm,
And I was wrongfully incarcerated in Indiana in 1998. I was down in Indiana. I went down there to work,
mm-hmm.
renovate homes, and
Okay.
I just ended up getting ran up in something I didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened with that is what I want the city of Flint to know is just having that homegrown grit and everything is one of the reasons how I overcame 25 years of wrongful incarceration. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of fact that it happened. I just really love to tell the people how because I feel
Yeah.
like Flint
What?
deserve it.
Yes, right.
I'm sitting inside, I'm seeing the water crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I done got into a lot of disputes over it because when you got people who are not affected
Mm-hmm.
by, this lead water or those things, they tend to think it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, the water, I'm like, bro, my
That's like
people
a
there,
butt. It's like a butt of the joke,
the
right?
butt of the
That's
joke.
that's one thing that I did have a problem with too. Is like we lost people. People lost their lives with the water crisis, bro. People still impacted by the water crisis.
Yeah,
Nobody's been held accountable. The folks ain't received a dime. So yeah, that's nothing to play with. So
that's
I'm
not,
glad that you definitely held accountability on that.
yeah, we had to do that. I had a chance to watch TV while I was on the inside, and I seen the work that Miss Flint was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I even seen, man, that really made me mad, when the then president act like he drunk the water. I
Yeah.
was offended by that, man. I'm like, why
Mm-hmm.
would you do that?
Yeah.
This is a crisis,
Mm-hmm.
And my family members, was affected by the water crisis
Mm-hmm.
really hard as well. But I also too, on an uptick, I was able to see some things, while I was going through, my particular struggle. Uh, like Monty and Cleese and the Flintstones winning that national championship with Michigan State.
Absolutely.
That was huge. I was like, oh man, you should have been a Flintstone. Ooh, they was like, man, this dude from Flint be talking too much,
Yeah.
And I'm down there,
That's what we do.
right? They like, man, bag it up though,
Oh, we gonna always back it up.
bag it up. And
Yes, sir.
I just really, I love Flint, and I see where Flint is at right now, when I come back and I see like, some of the struggles, but I also see a lot of hope in Flint.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of hope in Flint because sometimes it take for a people, a city, a community to go through the fire.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is, you know, don't take your struggle for granted, but you cannot be a victim in your struggle. We have to heal, but know what you went through. This is Flintstone. What's a Flintstone? I mean, you could put them together and make fire.
Come on now.
So when we think about precious metals,
Mm-hmm.
the only way they can be purified is if they put in the fire.
Put under pressure.
Put under pressure. You got to
Right.
be in there, burn off those impurities.
That's
In
right.
the same way, the human spirit got to go through struggle, even a collective struggle.
Come
You know
on
what I
now.
mean?
Come on.
And when you had that collective struggle
Yeah.
that come from that, that's why, it was easy for me to really just embrace a lot of strength because it's something that we dig on the inside,
Right.
And I'm a believer, in the creator.
Yeah.
I'm connected with the creator, but I believe like I love what I fight for, and I fight for what I love. You know what I mean?
You have to.
And it comes from that struggle, and that's what really make the love, that much, better.
That's right.
Make it more authentic because you had to fight for it.
Come on now.
Right?
And
It wasn't given to us. We took that. I took that respect. You know what I mean? It wasn't given to me. I had to earn it.
but that's a key concept. Respect is earned.
It's earned.
And I love, the fact that, people from Flint, right? We've been through many transitions. If it wasn't an epidemic, it was a pandemic, right? There's always something,
It's
right? But we've always been one to rise above the ashes, rise above all barriers that put in our place and become strong about it. So it's a certain type of built Flint strong here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you get that, and you can go, and I've always said this, you can go anywhere around the world, anywhere around the country, and make it because you're from Flint.
I believe that.
I believe it.
I know that.
I know it, right? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, I know that.
And so you spending, how many years did you spend incarcerated?
So I spent a total of 25 years incarcerated.
Yeah.
A total
Wrongfully.
wrongfully incarcerated.
Yeah.
A total of 12 years of solitary confinement out of that. 10 years straight in the cooker. 23 and 1.
How you, I know, so for people who don't understand that, right? To be in solitary confinement, right? By yourself for 23-hour lockdowns for 10 years straight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard bag.
What I found out
Mm-hmm.
there is what I found out here,
Mm-hmm.
right? They were afraid of my truth because I'm a truth teller. I'm a truth doer.
Mm-hmm.
The time that I was inside, I did a lot of advocating for the brothers that was in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, small stuff. I mean, I'll write you a letter.
Yeah.
I'll write a grievance.
Yeah.
I'll help you with your case. And I help you get your GED.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If your girl need a poem,
Yeah.
I'll write your girl a poem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just helping the people, and
Just any type of way, just help 'em.
any type of way.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. This is how I come to look at it. When I was in that confined space, I had to accept that I couldn't run through the door.
Mm-hmm.
And that acceptance of what I had.
Mm-hmm.
See, sometimes, you got to use what you have instead of trying to get what you want.
Mm.
If you won't use what you have, that's the part of being an artist, man.
Yeah.
Right? And an artist is a combination of somebody that's filled with love, inspiration, and science.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And so, sitting in that place, I'm like, what can I do? Like, what can I do for myself? And it made my own axiom,
Mm-hmm.
which is grasp the things within your reach,
Yeah.
and eventually you will hug the sun at the heights of your success.
I like that.
Right? We got to start with where we at.
Yeah.
So I seen things from, I studied, man, a lot of history, a lot of topics in education, music, culture. And I know that, people in America, black people, it's always this exodus that was in history. Like, man, go back to Africa. We gonna go over there.
Well, some of us was already here.
Right?
Some of, and that's the thing. I think we get misconstrued sometimes. Black people were already on this earth, well before anything, anybody else, right?
Right.
So we had people that was already in the land of Choctaw. I was, what I'm saying, down there in Mississippi just last month and talking to my grandmother. She was talking about how that was the land of the Choctaws. Before it was Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, and all that stuff. So our people were already here.
So
They didn't fool you to make you think like, okay, all of us came on ships. When all actuality, black people was on this land. They was already trading and doing commerce with other ethnic groups, but our people was here,
and and,
and our people was in Africa, right?
and it leads to this too.
Mm-hmm.
The whole notion is mama, make America mine again. Because it's a disconnect from that history that you're sharing
Mm-hmm.
with the indigenous
It was.
melanated people that was already here.
Mm-hmm.
And to have a need that you need to go over here to be
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, if you really want to find God, look within.
Yeah.
And that's a lesson that I picked up right there. I'm like, man, I'm not finna reach out to go over to another continent
Mm-hmm.
to come back to myself. I need to reach out myself
Yeah.
and go to that continent
Absolutely.
and bring it back. Because
Absolutely.
that's organic, man. That's the
Mhm.
empirical process.
Mhm.
That's authentic. That means I'm being genuine with myself. I'm accepting what I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I don't know, but I want to know.
And that's the thing too, though, man. For all of us, man, we have to take it upon ourselves and do diligence to be able to learn, have some understanding, right? Do the research. See, if I didn't have those conversations with the elders or the babas, right, I wouldn't have knew that family history that I'm coming down from, right? I wouldn't understand my lineage. And I'm thankful to have, family members that discuss and have those dialogues with the young ones, so then exactly, the family tree. You know where we came from. You know what started, who did what, and that's good information. That's power, right? And I encourage all of us, right, all of us to be able to go ahead and sit down and talk with the elders in our community, in our family, so you can get some information, man. That's the important piece because now you feel empowered. Even that little bit of information right there,
Yeah.
right? Because back in the day, like, black people couldn't talk about they was natives. They couldn't talk about it or they'd be killed. That's what was going on. So if you would say, like, if you had conversation that you was indigenous or you was, a native of this land, they would kill you, right? They put the fear in you not to talk about that. So that's where us not sharing that information because they was thinking that they was protecting you, because they didn't want you to know and have conversations or feel a certain type of way.
I mean, knowing is a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing is a lot of power. I think like just going down that vein, one thing I was able to do while I sat in that pressure cooker,
Mm-hmm.
because now I'm giving it back.
That's right.
I realize, man, I'm just being real, man. It's no different than Buddha or anybody else. You just living and telling you like, this is how I overcame that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you get people to start focusing on self and focusing on the tools that's within their reach, that means they're going to tap into their nearest ancestor, their parent, their
Mm-hmm.
grandparent, and
Mm-hmm.
receive all this.
Yeah.
And then when they do more, historical research, just on the human being side, look, we do originate from the original people and everything. Therefore, right,
Mm-hmm.
you got me thinking in the spirit, man, like a Kwanzaa spirit, man, this collective responsibility.
Absolutely.
And this collective responsibility is Ubuntu
Come on now.
concept,
Come on.
with my man, Nelson Mandela. Is really a Zulu concept.
It's a Zulu.
I am
Yeah.
because we are.
All the time.
So now, as I look at it, I know the politics of the history. You got people that tried to separate who we are, like biologists like Frederick Blumenbach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He make this category and say this is white people, this is black people, yellow people. But we never looked at them things like that before white supremacy in the 15th century. We looked at culture. Your culture was your race.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you think very deeply like that and you start to understand who you are and that you hold the seeds of all civilization within you.
Absolutely.
Now it's a paradigm shift in your thinking.
Yeah.
You might see Elon Musk go up there. He might be a little selfish, but you can say, look at what we did. Because you know that you are an essential architect of what's going on. That's why I say make America mine again, because our ancestors, one way or another, built this country.
Oh, we definitely did.
And you seen the president. The president, he said, African Americans help make the computer, help make this. And we all around these things. But the thing is to buy into your presence.
That's right.
Because what happened to me, it get quantum, bro. But it's simple, man. I just hate when people try to complicate something that's so simple. But it can be like that when it's a misunderstanding. It's simple as this.
Yeah.
The quality of your effort in the present affects the future and the past at the same time. And I'll explain why. I'll give you an example. Let's say if an individual had life in prison for murder, right? A super riot took place.
Yeah.
Right? The prisoners are killing staff and everything. But this guy, has a sense of humanity in the moment. He sees a couple of staff members that was cool with him and stuff like that. He pull them into a cell and lock the door. They like, man, what you doing? He's like, man, y'all can't kill them. Right? That decision in the moment, it changed the perspective of the past. Now the perspective is different. They was like, he was a killer, but he was young though. He didn't know what he was doing.
That's right.
Obviously he changed. And even though he wasn't getting out of prison, now the prospects of the future didn't change. Maybe we want to give him a chance. So when you're dealing with the present, which is a gift, and that's what I had to do while I was in solitary.
That's right.
My solitary experience was the biggest part.
So a lot of people will come out, been spending 25 years in prison, wrongfully charged, right?
Yeah.
Or wrongfully convicted for a crime I didn't do for 25 years. People be just messed up. They be mad as hell. I know I'll be having a chip on my shoulder, so heavy against the system. And I see you using that energy to do some constructive work. Not only even for yourself, but for the people you represent and the areas you come up in. That's taking that energy, taking that sacrifice and doing something with it. That take a lot. Do you ever feel a certain type of way about that? Do you ever like, man, listen, do you ever want to go back to get with whoever was involved in that situation?
Let me tell you. First and foremost, like in the words of the late George Jackson, going into those camps, those institutions, everybody is affected. So I don't walk away affected. One thing that I want to leave with the people is some vulnerability, man. And the reason I say that, because I'm hurt. I'm deeply hurt by what happened to me by a system. Right?
Absolutely.
I got hurt by a system that was put in place before I even arrived.
Absolutely.
It was here plotting on my demise. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I'm innocent born guilty into this system. And It does hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a healing process. Now I got some super duper stories to tell I overcame, but my biggest strength is in my vulnerability. When I sat down there, I was like, oh man, this is what they did.
Mm-hmm.
So leaving out that situation, people who spend a significant amount of time in prison
Mm-hmm.
and experience solitary confinement and prison violence,
Mm-hmm.
they are susceptible to post-incarceration syndrome.
Yeah, of
And
course.
I found about that with my man Supreme Understanding
Mm-hmm.
with the Earth and God Nations, man. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
peace to the God, right?
That's right.
This is like 2012. You know, he put me up on it. He wrote an article of mine. He printed an article in
Mm-hmm.
his book, Locked Up But Not Locked Down.
Come
And
on.
in this book,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I ran across, you know, post-prison syndrome. I was like, what?
It's a
And
real
I
thing.
started preparing myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it got 5 legs. It'll make one susceptible to antisocial personality disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, institutionalization, substance use disorder, and one that I really want to tap in with social sensory deprivation. So that means if you're in a prison environment, we learn from mirroring. You know, if you look at research and anthropology,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the stuff we do, we mirror.
Yeah.
So if you in a situation where you only see people in this social environment that's, you know, tense, that, you know, that's limited. You know, prison is an intellectual desert too as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so your senses get used to that. So when you come out,
Yeah.
you're overstimulated. You're
Yeah.
trying to figure it out, right?
Right.
You're trying to see what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so to your question, do I ever feel like, you know, I want some get back?
Yeah.
Man, hell yeah.
Oh man, come on now.
Hell yeah.
Don't
But
hold
it's
up. Listen, we
but
gonna get back all
right,
25 years that y'all took away from my brother.
hey, you
We
want
gonna
it in
smash
blood.
that system. We gonna go ahead and put it in your face because listen though, just like that happened to Brother Benson, that done happened to many other brothers, right? Because you do fall victim to this system that they create. They create these circumstances and these environments. And then we find ourselves going through the loops, right? Trying to go ahead and jump through these barriers, right? Or these holes, right? But it's deliberately put there for a reason. And
That's
so
right.
that be my anger with the system because shit, it tried to railroad me back in the day. And so I have a
See,
strong disdain for them, those creators of the system.
right.
I got a strong, displeasure for people who uphold this system, right? It's very, I would say I would take that pain and anger, right? And that's what I put into work.
That's
And
right.
that's to crush everything they got going on. When you talk about structural racism, you talk about systemic racism, you talking about a flawed judicial system that's phony, right? You talk about a facade of police officers who formerly are slave patrol, all those different things, right? To the breakdown of the makeup and the DNA, to you talk about the biology and classifying folks. I hate capitalism, right? Because you always need a lower class. Those things is those systems, right?
Right.
And we have been challenged. And I want us to understand how important this is for us to be, united, but then educated, right? Because we got to overcome all that. And I always say it's gonna be like brothers like this that's gonna change the world. And being every bit of that
Yeah,
starts with everything the makeup that you cover
it's real.
is putting that and projecting that to the world. So if anybody have gone through that situation, make sure you use that with force. Make sure you use that with purpose. Make sure you be the difference, right? To be able to save the next generation of young people coming up because we don't want them to be fall victim to none of that.
And see, like on that note, like you
Mhm.
asked me how I feel.
Yeah,
What I want to do is give you a construct of the mindset of somebody going in there, what
absolutely.
they face. That's frustrating in of itself.
Hmm.
It's triggers. It can make you spaz out.
Yes, sir.
And here's the thing. You don't know what you don't know until you know it,
You're going through
right?
it.
Until you're going through it. So
Right.
you have to look at somebody returning home, whether they're an exoneree
Hmm.
or not,
Yeah,
right? You a baby.
yeah.
You getting back used to what's going on. You don't even know your own triggers.
And you've been out for how long though?
I've been out going on 3 years now. It's
Okay.
gonna be 3 years in a minute,
But
man.
you seem like you've been out here for 3 decades the way you put in the work, right? You know what I'm saying? I say that with, respect, right? You know what I'm saying?
Man, I appreciate that.
You ain't let nothing stop you. You just came down and hit the ground running. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
hit the ground running.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why, getting back to what you were saying,
Mhm.
do I feel frustrated? I am indignant.
For sure.
Man, I'm an indignant bastard.
You absolutely
I'm
should.
mad about it, right? But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we got to bring that through the vulnerability part.
No
To
question.
look at these systems and know that these systems are processes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They are processes. We
Mhm.
got to look at the people.
Mhm.
So, in a sense, I can forgive
Yeah.
in order to do the work.
Mhm.
Not forgive and turn the other cheek. I know a lot of people might not like what I'm finna say, but Jesus said turn the other cheek. You kiss one booty cheek, kiss the other one. Right? You got to really, you got to really think about this stuff.
You
Like
gotta
what
think
was
about it.
going on. We got to get past a lot of this trauma, and the spirituality
But
of
that's
it
the
help you
hurtful
do it.
part though, Leon. It's like, you know what? It's been a lot of trauma.
It's a lot of trauma.
It's a lot of healing that needs to take
A
place.
lot of healing, man.
But the thing is, sometimes people taking it with drugs, right? They find other vices in this world, but they don't ever necessarily deal with the trauma, deal with the issue, the root of the problem. You don't never deal with that because you're too busy looking beyond of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Looking over it, not trying to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? That's a real feeling for people who've been traumatized. And that's what I be seeing for black people now. It's like we rather go party, go shake our butts in the club or something, right? You know what I'm saying? Go buy a car, buy a bottle or something versus dealing with the real hurt. And that's something that we have to go ahead and really start looking at and being intentful about.
Well, like so when you look at oppression,
Mm-hmm.
you can look at oppression like this. You can have an individual relationship,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it can be a trauma bond.
Okay.
But historically speaking, people of color are in a social, political, economical trauma bond,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So that means that this is a perpetual cycle that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the thing about the trauma bond, people become addicted to the toxicity.
Yeah.
They don't know nothing else. So I don't fault, the people. We as leaders got to be able to put this stuff in the people's face in a way that they can accept it. Being a mental health first aider, we must affirm people
Mm-hmm.
first,
Absolutely.
right? And that's a part of the recovery community, the work I've been doing here recently. And what that means, people have a mental challenge. So I need to affirm your mental challenge first. I'm like, wow, you mad at your person? Like, I'm just gonna listen to you until I can take you to the other place. And the reason why I mention that, because that's really our battle. In my analysis, our biggest battle, I know it's systemic,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still dealing with the thinking, the
Oh yeah.
thinking, change your words, your
Absolutely.
words,
Yeah.
change your actions
Yes,
actions
yes it is.
change your habits change your character change
Come
your
on,
destiny.
come on. It take a lot of you gotta do some self-analyzing. Right? It take
Dang.
a lot of looking in the mirror. It take a lot of acknowledging flaws, right?
Yeah.
And then you want to be your hardest critic because you want to better yourself.
Right.
And so we do, that's an everyday thing though, brother. It's an everyday thing, trying to address the
Wait, I
issue.
don't want to cut you off.
Yeah.
You know what you made me think of?
What's that?
You made me think of like this thing that, one of the young guys, Pooh Shiesty, put out. He
Yeah.
said, F the streets.
Yes, sir.
But you got a lot of pushback against him because we got people who are addicted to the toxicity of the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this brings to mind that hustling means that you go harder than the next person. You wake up, you outwork somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It don't mean that you in the streets, peddling drugs or doing crime.
Right.
So that's trauma of it. You got people that made an identity of themselves off of a method of approach to
Yeah.
get out the ghetto.
And just what he's saying, ladies and gentlemen, you ain't gotta have peddle drugs to be a hustler, right? The thing is getting up every day and doing something to change your circumstance. And that could mean being an entrepreneur, having business, going to a brick and mortar, right? That can mean doing community activism, right? Getting out there, moving around, getting into those tables, right? Shaking them, flipping them over. So it's a perception, right? That
Yeah.
everybody has to come up in the streets hustling, selling drugs. That's not it. And I do respect what Pooh Shiesty said when he said F the streets because we've been lied to. We've been tricked. We've been bamboozled. We've been sitting up here told a facade, right? We thinking that you gotta be in the streets to be something real, right? Well, in actuality, you don't.
Nah.
And that ain't did nothing but really cause carnage and destroyed neighborhoods from us trying to be and thinking of a street mentality.
Yeah.
See, we got to be bigger than that because we are kings and queens. We are royalty. We do come from a glorious past. That means that we got to
Yeah.
start stepping up and being that, being every representation of that. When you look at the ninth wonder of the world, when you think about the pyramids, our people developed that. You thinking about all this different technology and all these different things and modes of life that we use today.
Right.
A lot of black people built that. When you talk about the White House, right? That was built by black people, right? When you look at our ancient and our ancestors and our elders during the times when they was enslaved, they had all the skills because they was doing all the work. You ain't got to be coming up in the streets trying to knock somebody off or, sell drugs to somebody else's parents. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
demise that household that's gonna ravage the community. We got to start thinking about it in a different lens. So I'm with that movement of F the streets, right? We know what the F stands for. But we really do got to stand up and we got to hold justice. We got to have
We
some
do.
type of standard that we live by.
Well, not and two things can be true at the same time,
Okay.
right? Man, I'm from the gutter, bro.
Yeah.
From the gutter, man, Flint, Michigan. Grew up in the trap.
Yes, sir.
I seen some of the most craziest things just in my household before I even left to the streets. The streets was in my face.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is, I am not undermining anybody's struggle because I'm from the struggle.
Mhm.
But that'd be me holding on to prison life. Like, man, you said, man, F prison? I'm like, man, why would he say F prison? Man, I was in prison for 25 years. Man, F prison.
Mhm.
Any prison.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, just using, man, some of the expertise as a mental health first aider to affirm, I'm saying I recognize your struggle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know your struggle. I
Yeah.
know it's hard. I know you've been doing something, for a long time. And when you look at the street life, it's the same way. It's recovery.
Yeah.
We are recovering. So you got somebody with a mental challenge. What they gonna do? Whether that mental challenge be poverty, whether it be domestic violence, whether it be bullying, whether it be a plethora of things. It can be any of that stuff. But the mental challenge, what a person do is they attack the issue with a problem-induced solution. Crime,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Gangs,
Mhm.
drug use.
Mhm.
They trying to solve the problem of what they feel inside.
Yeah.
And so the street life is just the mentality.
Mhm.
You can kill that
You
mentality
can kill
and
that.
transform
Come on.
your environment
Come
any
on.
way you want
Yeah.
because it all starts in the mind.
That's right.
That's what we've been talking about. That's that
Mhm.
collective
That's
responsibility.
right. That's right.
So what I hear is individuals, it's a lot of our people that feel left out. I'm not one to say, hey, I got out of prison on my own. My sister helped me get out of prison.
Absolutely.
Right? My lawyers helped me get out of prison. A lot of people helped me get out. Flint helped me get out of prison with the things that I learned in Flint.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the street life taught me a lot of stuff too.
Now listen, and we ain't discounting none of that.
Yeah.
Because you learn a lot. You trust me, you learn a lot just being out there in the streets. It's just like we have to have a renewed mind about how we view being in the streets, right? And then one thing for sure, we don't have to look at it as a gutter situation. we got to change the scope of that. You can be in the streets, but then doing stuff productive for the streets, right? We got a lot of young people out there now, right now. We're talking about groups that's out there activating in the streets, doing work for the streets, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like we can look at it and reinvent, how we look at street life or being in the streets. And that's something that we definitely want to get to, man. And I know we got some ideas, some stuff that we gonna curate, right? To get out there on the front line, man, and change that whole perspective, right? Because that's what's coming up next. Okay, I do want to bring in. So right now, this is the neighborhood news. Definitely want to give a big shout out to the Flint Kwanzaa celebration that's taking place right now. It began December 26th and it will be running to January 1st. So we do want to make sure that everybody take the time out to come be a part of the village, be part of the principles. Actually, make sure you employ these in your everyday life. That's what Kwanzaa is about. We greatly appreciate Dr. Karenga for bringing these concepts or developing these concepts based off of ancient African principles, right? That's where it comes from. But bringing that here to this country, man, for us to be able to guide ourselves by and our lives by. They've been celebrating from the 26th to the 1st, from 3 to 5 at 718 Oak Street, right, in Flint, Michigan. So we got a couple more days of Kwanzaa taking place, but these principles should be practiced every day of the year. So we encourage you to come on down, be a part of the village. It's available via Zoom and is also live stream on Fly City Blackout. So be sure to go ahead and be a part of the village. Come check it out. Brother Benson has been a part of Kwanzaa, right? Coming in, getting information. And it's just a good feeling, a good vibe to see everybody come together and be networking. But then also learning some values, some systems. From Gaza Saba, which is the first fruit of the harvest.
Right.
Those is things that makes us be better people. And right now, our whole thing right now is talking collective work and responsibility. Everybody has a role. Everybody has a place. Don't ever think that you're not in a part of this society, because you are. You can be a good part, right? That's gonna be doing some good, or you can be a detriment, right? Well, sometimes we find ourselves going through and being that way until we learn to air our ways and then change it around to be a phenomenal force. So trust me, our ancestors depend on us. And these young people do look up to us, whether we know it or not. They watching every move. So if you got children, nephews, nieces, right, whatever the case may be, people on your block, be sure to be a positive example and a role model for the community. And then we also want to take it to the international role, right? So the thing is this, and I want to get your input on this too. Trump just delivered some airstrikes in Nigeria and is under a pretense of because black Christians were being killed. I want y'all to think about this for a minute. When you think about the reason why Trump will go ahead and seek to drop bombs in Nigeria, potentially to invade Nigeria, it has to be a purpose and a reason behind it. And one thing for sure, if you understand about the brothers in Niger, the brother in Mali, the brother in Burkina Faso, they have just recently got up under that European control. So they took back over their countries and they bringing in the natural resources that is definitely making that country rich again. Because all resources right now is in Africa, whether we know it or not. When you got minerals, you got gold, you got everything, right? That's the Garden of Eden. So Trump is not looking to go ahead and save them black Christians in Nigeria. He can care less. He is trying to set up shop in Nigeria because it's close to Niger, who is rich with, minerals and resources. And the whole thing is to destable the West Africa. And I want us to be very clear. Hands off our brothers and sisters in Africa. Trump, we do not respect none of that stuff you own. And I want you to know that everybody in Africa should be standing strong to be able to support them brothers over there that's on the front line that's really talking about liberation. We've been on this liberation kick for a long time. They are doing it through action. And that's a real thing taking place. So don't get confused when you hear that. Don't get confused by the media who plays tricks on you. Don't be bamboozled by Donald Trump and his foolishness. Listen, we got to really kick that stuff down. We got to stand with our brothers and sisters on the continent of Africa. We have to protect them in every step of the way, right? And we got to call that BS out when we see it.
Mm.
Okay. So kind of getting back to the conversation, man. I'm here with my brother Leon, right?
Oh man, hey, you said a lot, man.
Okay, talk to me.
Hey, so I
Yeah.
wanna give you something. I wanna open with a chorus from a song I got.
Come on.
It's called Mugabe, right?
Yes, sir.
They want me dead like Gaddafi, drag my body through a lobby, take pictures on their cell phones to show everybody. My trial was a mockery, the verdict was hypocrisy. Too many years in they prisons where they locked me.
That's right.
But my voice is still alive, so they still can't stop me.
Come on.
I'ma take my freedom back from them.
Yeah.
Robert Mugabe.
Come on.
I'ma take my freedom back from him. Robert Mugabe.
Come on now.
I'ma take my freedom back from him. Robert Mugabe.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I centered on that, because you had, Robert Mugabe, who won liberation for what's known now as Zimbabwe from Rhodesia, from colonialists. And he done the right thing. But in the views of outside influences, he was made to be a tyrant. And I mentioned Gaddafi because he directly connects to what's going on down here in Nigeria. We know that Libya was bombed. Libya had the power over the oil.
Come on now.
Umar Gaddafi was talking about, let's unite these 90 plus countries in Africa with our own currency and do our own thing. We got gold, we got resources. And he was took out.
Yeah, no, and let's hone in on that. Gaddafi was not a tyrant. Gaddafi was actually, he had Libya in a position of power. He was given free education, right? Free health care, right? If you was married, you receive a stipend, right? So Gaddafi was a visionary at his time. And he did want to impress on the African Union of all them coming together, right? Where you got 52 countries in Africa that's going to come together, right? And have one currency. They will be the powerhouse of the world. And that's why Africa is so divided right now.
Yeah.
Because everybody got their own currency, right? They can't even trade between different countries. You need a passport to go through the, different countries in Africa. If you would have them all under one, just like the United States, it'd be the same thing.
Right.
They would be having one currency. Everybody can travel, do commerce, trade with each other, right? Make money. That country, that continent of Africa will be super strong. And that's what they don't want, is divided by the British, the Portuguese, all these other European countries that benefit from the resources in Africa. That's what this whole fight is about. That's why they standing up against that. And they hated brothers like Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Because Gaddafi stood on business and he was trying to create the gold dinar. And that was going to change the game for Africa. And then another thing, too, what Gaddafi did, what people just now getting to realize, Gaddafi was going to send $1 billion of aid to Black Americans.
Yeah.
He was going to send resources and aid to Black people here in America. And you know who stopped that? Bill Clinton. So why y'all think Bill Clinton is like a Black president? I don't know why y'all would say that nonsense. He is the reason why to block the aid that was coming from Gaddafi to Black Americans. And so those are things that we need to be expounding on. And he also in the Epstein files too. But you know what I'm saying? I just had to go ahead and let you know.
But see, the reason why I mentioned Umar Gaddafi and
For
all
sure.
that, because let's pivot.
Okay.
Nigeria now is the richest country in Africa. People in Nigeria control the oil.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the other principalities that's around Nigeria and things like that, but Nigeria is a big holder of the oil. It's equivalent to George Bush going into Iraq. They got weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
Whatever we need to get in there.
Yeah.
Now here's another thing though. Against popular belief, I know people seen Roots, all those things.
Yeah.
Well, we know that during the transatlantic slave trade, most of the people who are here in America, African, outside of the ones that was already here, they were brought over from Nigeria. They was Yoruba.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot. There's a
right?
lot from the West Africa.
Right,
Yep.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we carry these traditions all the time.
We do.
So you would see, you would see Santeria.
Mm-hmm.
That's Yoruba
Yeah.
mixed with Catholicism.
Yeah.
You would see so-called voodoo.
Yeah.
That comes from the Haitians, who is the only group of people from Nigeria,
Yeah.
right? Haitian just was made up. They were brought in from Nigeria in them spaces, and they defeated the French.
Twice.
The only twice.
Right.
And then, it was a brother, a Haitian brother named Bookman Doody, right?
Okay.
He
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
chanted something on him, and that's where voodoo come from. Oh, that's
Yeah.
voodoo
Yeah.
from the French. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
And
so,
big shout out to Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
okay,
Right. Now that was a heavy hitter out there, right? When they beat them and defeated the French twice, them folks out there changed the Constitution and took all the land back from all the colonizers over there and kicked them all out. And what's so unfortunate is because the French put a price tag on Haiti that they'll never be able to pay. That's why it's in disarray like this right now.
right,
And so for us as black people, we should be coming to the aid of our brothers and sisters in Haiti because they getting a raw deal right now. But just to have them be the only country, only black group to liberate themselves, right?
right.
That's a powerful thing
That's
that
powerful.
must be uplifted.
And what you see is, uh, that's why I use the Mugabe song
Mhm.
for this. So I was fighting for my freedom,
Yes, sir.
right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
fighting for my freedom,
Mm-hmm.
and I win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right. I got the truth.
That's right.
But anybody that's an adversary to that truth, they'll try to smear your name, like they did Mugabe. Like,
Yeah.
they embargoed everything in the country. Now
Mhm.
he the bad guy. They sending people at him.
They did make it seem like he was the bad guy.
Like he was the bad guy. Now he ended up doing some questionable things. I'm not saying he did it. There's nobody perfect, but where it come from is a systemic thing, a global systemic thing of
Mhm.
white supremacy that's
Mhm.
happening right now.
Mhm.
And this is what's happening in Nigeria right now, in my opinion. And I feel like Americans, people of color,
Mhm.
specifically, go do you a 23andMe and see your DNA.
Yeah.
So I want to
Yeah.
let everybody know this right now. Don't get it twisted. Y'all gonna feel some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
I did 23andMe. I got my test results, right?
Okay. What you got?
I'm 99% African, dog.
Come on now.
Huh?
What's up, my brother?
Hey, if you melt me down, bro, look, you melt me down, I'll make 1,000 brothers and sisters. Hey, look, no, hey, look, I'm being, no, that's just going against the Willie Lynchism that's out there with colorism.
Yeah, right.
I got a little light, but I'm 75% Igbo. 75% Igbo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's from Nigeria over there, those
Igbo
people,
tribe.
the
Right?
Igbo tribe in
You gotta
Nigeria.
understand
And a
that.
lot of our
Yeah.
people are from there. You got to get educated. Hey, much love and solidarity to my brothers and sisters over in Palestine.
Absolutely.
There's a
Absolutely.
lot of things going over on the continent, the Congo, Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
We got to, come together, for,
We
those
do.
people over there too,
We do.
and definitely represent. You know what I mean?
All this is biblical. All this, everything is designed to be. If you really, if you look at the teachers, you read a lot of the ancient scrolls, right? It speaks to the tune of all this stuff that's taking place right now. Nothing is new under the sun. Things is gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen. This is divine. This is spiritual divinity right here. And so we just characters in a movie. This is how this is gonna all play out. So I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, like learning this information, understanding how important that we all are. Because if you in Africa, if you're in Haiti, you're Jamaican, or you here black in the country, we all one. And that's what I want us to understand how important and how valuable it is when we act like that.
No, that's good stuff, man.
So I wanna definitely get to um a business highlight. I'm sorry. I'm saying I was kind of thinking and reflecting. I do want to highlight a business. I want to definitely highlight Rube's Bar and Grill. If you've never been to Rube's Bar and Grill, you need to go check them out. It's a phenomenal place, good food, right? Good energy. It's just a good space to be in, right? You can catch them Monday through Saturday. You can be out there just hanging out, watching the game. You can get some fish from the back, right? Make sure you check in and give a handshake to the owner, Derek, over there, man. That's a good brother over there, right? But definitely want to spread some love and energy over there because it's always been a neutral, safe space for people to hang out, black owned, and definitely have a good time. So if you're looking for a good food, bite to eat, you're looking to hang out, you're looking to go ahead and get a 1-2, right? You can definitely go ahead and go check them out at Rude's Bar and Grill, located on Chevrolet. All right. So I'm here with my brother Leon, and we having a nurturing conversation. Um, one thing that we want to get into, we got a segment that I want you to be part of.
Okay.
So, Coach, you ready? We got the X chat. So what this is, the X chat is Coach just throws out some topics, and it gives me and Leon to be able the opportunity to have different dialogue, right? We have discussion, and we'll be talking and from different perspectives, and just really creating some energy around it. We don't know what it is or what it is. It might be some random stuff or whatever the case may be, but we definitely gonna get to it. You down?
I'm down with it.
Okay. All right. All right. It's on you. It's fun.
First one is financial compensation enough after losing decades of your life?
Man, it's no money, it's no amount of money that can pay back 25 years of wrongful incarceration. It's no money. Like when I was there in solitary, I mourned material things because that experience showed me that it's more to life than that. Your freedom and your liberty
Mm,
taken away from you, that means I missed out on time with my kids, my son, my daughter, my father, my grandfather.
yeah.
People passed away. I can never get those things back. Yeah, I
Right.
want it all. If you can, man, I want it all. Give me $1 billion.
Yeah.
Couldn't bring it back, right?
I know that's right.
$1 billion couldn't bring it back. So
But the thing is this though, when you spend that amount of time, that's a quarter century out your life. They owe out. So man, I'm talking about it should definitely be something substantial. You gotta have some flow. They gotta make sure, you know what I'm saying, they gotta right the wrong because you know what? I don't care what it is. Like you said, ain't no amount of money that's gonna replace the time that you missed out on family, loved ones, deaths, and all that. But the thing is, they owe out, bro. And so everything about now is they better pay up. And you make sure you tax them for everything else after that. You know what I'm saying?
reparations is due. It's true.
It's been due. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's how we feel about reparations. Like the whole thing though, man, we done put in so much work, free labor. We done built this country. We the reason why they sit comfortably right now. And they sitting up here want to play at us, play in our face. They crazy, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we should be on their head about everything that we deserve.
Yeah, definitely. I keep my feet on their neck.
Absolutely.
Uh, and it looked different. Like I said, a quarter century.
Mm.
Like I'm gonna tell you, man, right now I'm in an existential dilemma.
Okay, that's something different.
Right?
Well,
Right.
okay.
No, I'm the black existentialist. You know what I mean? Like I do that, right? I find
Okay, it's time. So if I didn't say it's a 2-minute time that we discuss on the topic.
oh,
Right?
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just
So
for
you can
clarity.
take that last part out.
But it's good. No, we're gonna go to the next one, next
Okay,
topic.
I didn't
Right? It's all good. All good.
Should eyewitnesses' testimony still be trusted when lives are on the line?
Should eyewitness testimonies be trusted when there's lives on the line?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, uh, in my case, man, I'm a victim of cross-racial misidentification
Okay.
because the eyewitness was a white woman. And the
They black.
statistics show that people from different races cannot identify each other.
They
So
think black people all look the same.
we think all white people look the same.
We do.
And this is just the thing because we just used to each other, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And no, their testimony shouldn't be, weighed by itself. It has to be very scrutinized. So in Indiana, I got some legislation passed to
Okay.
get new, procedures
Yeah.
into the police department when they're taking, photo lineups of people and getting identification.
Yeah.
So it's needed.
I'm just saying though, sometimes though, when you think about eyewitness though, sometimes that could be a flaw, right?
That's a flaw.
When I heard that, that instantly made me think about Emmett Till, right? They came in with those false narratives and the eyewitness said this and that. Sometimes they don't know what the hell they talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a real thing.
And the sad thing, we believe in the confidence of a witness and everything like that. So when you say that, think about, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
That's
It
right.
was a bad eyewitness that said
A
somebody
bad
did
eyewitness.
something to me
Yeah.
and it bombed everything.
Bombed everything.
Somebody said, look, he did this.
But no, they
and
were
it hurt him.
they wanted to do that. You know what I mean?
Man.
That was the thing like Trump going to Nigeria. They just needed something to say. Like, oh, well, you know
Man.
what? Hey, that person whistled at this girl. We got to go bomb the whole city.
Yeah,
That's madness, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Eyewitness misidentification is one of the leading causes of wrongful incarceration.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But it's dependent on the most. It depends who we want to believe, especially when you got a white person saying it's a person of color that did it.
Absolutely.
All right.
There's somebody running about 10-ish minutes late, just to let you know.
Okay, sound good.
So we 10 minutes over.
Yeah, well, we got about 10 minutes left.
This next question. Recently, wide receiver DK Metcalf from the Pittsburgh Steelers had an altercation with a Detroit Lions fan at the football game.
Mm-hmm.
He pulled him down and punched him. Some say it might be because of a racial slur. What side do you guys take? Should actually is he justified for reacting, or should he have more control?
In the case of DK Metcalf, I'm siding with DK. It looked like my man was hanging over the balcony and just kind of I guess, saying some things. I didn't hear the conversation, but obviously he said it was some racial slur that was being said or whatever. They even said that they knew each other from past games or something like that. Nevertheless, man, ain't nobody thinking about just attacking no fans just because. And then as a ball player, football player, however you want to say it, player. Like when them unruly fans get involved like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, I understand why people want to just knock him the hell out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even then, I don't even think that he really punched him. He more like just kind of grabbed him up, snatched him up, and then shoved him, right? And it may have seemed like it was a punch, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, man, I thought that was just some BS, man, and definitely I'm on the side of DK.
I'm on the side of DK, but I also say this. You got to be professional. Just say you a public figure.
Okay.
There's certain things you can't do.
Yeah.
People gonna get on social media. They gonna say anything. People will publish anything.
You know what? I'm very sure with that though, Leon.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
people, they will take the time out to play and troll on you, right?
To troll you.
Sometimes I fall into the rat race. I go down that hole, and my people be looking at me like, why is you even in there? Why are you responding to that stuff, right? Because it's like, man, you know what? I got to say something, right? You know what I mean? Because one thing that I did learn when I was in an election before is I didn't respond to some of the negative criticism, right? And I think that haunted me in some form of a way. So now it's like, I do understand being a public figure, you got to hold yourself accountable.
So I'm
But then at the same time, you got to kick that mess down too.
No, you got to kick it down. You got to pick your battles.
You got to pick
that
your
battles. That wasn't a battle for him, a belligerent fan.
Man, listen, man, DK he probably felt a certain type of way. You don't know how he was feeling that day.
He definitely was feeling some type of way. He definitely was feeling.
He went right on over there to my man, snatched him up, gave him some words.
Cause the man,
I bet you, my man won't come back to the game with that mess again.
Man, them hecklers is something else. But then when you got a certain level of status,
yeah,
come on, hit me, hit me, I dare you.
Yeah,
lawsuit.
Now, but are you gonna be the one to hit him, or you?
No.
You gonna protect the interest,
right?
Okay.
But I feel the way that it was a Lions fan. If it's a Lions fan that was behaving like that, that's one thing. But I'm like, DK, you can't be coming to the D with that type of stuff because that stuff the Pacers pulled on the Pistons.
Man, that was same stuff. Well, that was our test in them games.
That was our test in them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now, I rock with the D. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that. Oh my God.
Waiting on who?
Steve Jackson, our test.
Oh man.
That's a fact.
Derek Coleman was waiting on
Hey.
Steven Jackson and Ron Artest.
That's the old Pacers team. Yeah, all Portland up there.
You talking about
Why was
OG?
he even there? What he wasn't even playing? What was he there for?
He was waiting to see what they wanted to do after the game.
What the heck, man? I love DC though, man. That DC is a boy. He a wild boy too. So
He did this thing over in Zone 8, man.
He did, man. So, man, thank you for definitely, man, participating with the X chat. We talk about different random conversations, right? We do a little debate, discussion, but it's all out of general fun, right? Getting perspectives across. Okay, so before we kind of close this thing down, right? You know, my brother Leon spent 25 years wrongfully incarcerated. And now I got a baby on the way. Come on, man. Talk to me, brother. Man. You out here, man, making babies. What's going on?
Oh, man. I got a baby on the way. I'm 50 years old with a baby on the way. What?
Son, how you let this happen, son? You let it.
Oh, man. So look,
what's that about, man?
Hey, man, look.
I saw you on the net like, man, yeah, I got a baby on the way.
So-
I was like, man, that's deep. Because you know what? At 50, I want more children too, right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. But here's the thing, right?
Okay.
So we talked about ancestors, right?
Yes, sir.
And we talked about collective responsibility.
Yeah.
So collective responsibility, that means I'm a father
Yeah.
to many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just so happen to be receiving
Yeah.
a brand new
Mm.
grandson
Come on now.
named
listen.
Keon. I'm
Come on.
happy.
Come
We
on
got
now.
a baby on the way.
Come on,
Our
man.
tribe
Listen.
got a new addition.
Listen.
And
For all
I'm
the
gonna
ladies
be
on the
there.
net that felt a certain type of way, their body was
But they
upset.
felt the way.
They was hurt about it. You can't be doing that stuff. You can't be popping up with babies on folks.
No, I wouldn't. But look, I'm so happy because technically, you know, I survived genocide
Yeah.
because I was put in prison to be castrated. It was a form of eugenics. It was a form to stop me from reproducing.
It
It
was.
took,
Yeah.
or at least they thought they took,
Yeah.
like all the fight that's in me. Because usually people, they lose the fight by 30. They don't know what to do, but I still got this fire burning in my
Yeah.
chest.
Mhm.
And when I see my son, you know, an extension of me,
Yeah.
right? When I see myself resurrected through his flesh,
Come on
and
now.
he's having my second grandchild,
Come on now.
Keon coming into the world
That's
any
right.
day.
That's right.
And I get to grab that baby
Yeah.
and hold his baby in the air like they did on Roots and like hold it up to the Most High. Thank you. You know what I mean?
It's like
Yeah.
the baby, like Lion King.
And I get to make a song. I get to make a song about it, but the song is deeper than that. The song is really God body. You see, got a baby on the way is an ideal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You know, I even make rents. I got a whole lot of, I'm activated with a whole lot of choppers on the way, but I'm going to leave it in the streets. I got a baby on the way.
Come on.
Got a call from my doctor and lawyer today.
Yeah.
Here's the ultrasound. You hear your baby on the way? Why? I'm your baby. I'm on the way. You hear me? And we
Coach, you need to get a baby on the way, bro.
You need a baby on the way. You
We
want a
having
baby
babies on the way. We got all type of babies
Rio,
on the way.
there you go, G.
So we-
Hey, Chrissy the kid. Why you and Jay, man? Hey, love.
We got babies on the way.
We
Listen,
got babies on the way.
I'm trying to bring about 3-4 more babies on the way. You ain't lying, you know what
But
I'm
I
saying?
see you
That's
got a-
legacy though.
You
hear
got
me?
a baby on the way, you know, with your podcast. You continue to have a baby on the way with the work that you're doing in the community.
Okay.
With
I
the
know you
closet
right.
community.
Right. That's
You know what I
motivation.
mean? So we talking about creators and co-creators.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, we God body for real.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
means I'm looking for a co-creator. That means I can penetrate, you know, a feminine energy
Yeah.
with an idea. She gonna help cultivate that and birth that thing into existence.
Come on now.
You hear
Come
me?
on. Yes, sir.
So we got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, my, the baby on the way.
Good.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Right? You know, the little things got me singing to her stomach like I'm LMA. I'm singing to the stomach. So when you come back to the community, you come back to the root and you
Yeah.
cultivate these things that's going on.
Yeah.
You get to talk to them in the stomach.
Yeah.
You talking to them in the stomach. When you see the youth
Yeah.
that's coming up, you say, you know what? You are great. Look at yourself in the mirror. You gonna do great things.
Come on now.
You manifesting a baby on
That's
the
right.
way.
Yeah.
We get to produce that.
Yeah.
And that's our collective responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I take on, you know, that Afrocentric stance of doing that. And I'm very proud
Yeah.
that means
I
that
love
they didn't win.
it.
My baby on the way. You know what I mean?
Come on, man. Let's give him a round of applause.
I
man.
appreciate
I'm
that,
trying to tell you, man. Listen,
I appreciate that, y'all.
I'm so proud of you, man. I'm
Oh,
proud
man.
of the work you're doing. I'm proud of your energy, your coming back.
Oh,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Not letting nothing stop you from being you, right? Still procreating, still
Yeah.
continuing the legacy on, still building with the family, right? And just doing everything that you set out to do, man. I'm definitely, man. I love support, right? You know what I'm saying? There 100% any way I can. You know
Hey,
what I'm
man, I
saying?
appreciate that. We got to get you down to Detroit.
Absolutely.
Doing some great work down there, man.
Yes, sir.
Love my Justice Impacted community down
Yes, sir.
we doing a lot of good work. I'm the
Yes, sir.
director in Solitary Justice Project.
Come on now.
So we really focusing on like the effects of solitary confinement.
Yeah.
I'm doing work with RAPS, you
Yeah.
know, wellness,
Mm-hmm.
recovery,
Yeah.
action plan, you know, with my man Dwight Harris down there in Detroit.
Okay.
Doing great work with Integrate 313,
Mm-hmm.
peer support group. And
Absolutely.
just looking to, further, build my relationships with the city of Detroit, while I'm there, and bring, these skills and these connections, back to Flint as
That's
well.
right. Yeah.
Because we got to do that. I'm just
Mhm.
placed in a position to do what I do, and I'm gonna do it. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate everything. You know what though, bro?
Yes, sir.
I haven't done this to you, right?
What's that?
Man, I got to present you with my book, man.
Oh man, come
This
on.
is my book, man. Letters
Bringing
of
gifts.
Gratitude, right?
Oh
This
man.
Letters of Gratitude, man. It's out on Amazon everywhere.
Oh
I
man.
am because we are.
Yeah.
It's my letters of gratitude. And on that note, man, I definitely want to give you your flowers because look, I
Appreciate it.
come here and I think about things, I listen to people,
Yes, sir.
but the jig is up.
The jig is up.
I'm the guy that's going to figure it out because
Yeah,
I
it's all,
always have.
all the time.
And what
All
I
the time.
sat and what I see is people that's doing the work.
Yes, sir.
Right. I sat back from afar because I got the model people. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little hyper vigilant. I don't know these people. We vulnerable coming here back to society, man. So I'm looking like,
Yeah.
let me make sure. I'm like, and you hear people they hating.
Yeah.
And every time I looked up, I'm like, I only see you.
Yeah.
You like the only. I'm like, man, where DeWaun at? It's DeWaun over there again. Black Lives Matter or whatnot. Even beyond that, advocating for the people.
Absolutely.
So I just want to extend that gratitude because I am,
Yes,
because we are. When I see you do it,
yes, sir.
you give me encouragement that
Come
I
on
can
now.
do it. You see what I'm saying?
You motivate me.
And that's
Yeah.
that's what we are,
That's
man.
right. Yeah.
And I see other, people in Flint, like some of your past guests.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Glover, man.
Yeah.
Man, huge inspiration, man.
Mhm.
To come from the trenches where we come from, to do the things that we do.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing. Nobody is bigger than the program
Never.
of loving the people.
Never.
Right?
Never. Yeah.
Never bigger than that.
Never.
And I love the fact that we vulnerable enough to share our mistakes,
Yeah.
to understand that we are in a lifelong journey of recovery.
Yeah.
Whether that recovery be, the post-slavery syndrome,
All
the
that.
post-colonial syndrome, pro-syndrome, whether you came out of an abusive relationship,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? But the thing about it, when we look to the Bible, we look to the Torah.
Yeah.
Remember those Israelites, they were passed over.
Come on.
We
Come
was
on.
passed over, bro.
We sure was.
It's many of people that it went in the
We sure-
graveyard.
Yeah.
And I say this, I want to give homage to one of my brothers that fell, Kwame Shakur. It really hurts me
Okay.
that my brother, he died last week. And, it's really tragic. This brother dedicated a book to me.
Mm.
He was standing outside the prison for me.
Mhm.
He advocated for me.
That's right.
This is my brother.
Mhm.
We was at odds on things, but the
Well,
love.
brothers don't.
That brothers do that,
Come
you know what I
on.
mean?
Absolutely.
But this brother, man, we was able to talk in a way, before he passed. I didn't know he was so sudden, and he leave a legacy of activism, of passion.
Mhm.
I am because we are.
That's right.
That brother is me, I am him.
Yeah.
But I also had an opportunity to attend the homecoming of Ronald Kevin Waters.
Mm.
It was the best homegoing that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Next to my mother, Margaret Perry, wherever you went, Queen Mother, hey, I love you.
That's
and
right.
she was very big, here in Flint with
That's right.
community activism.
Mhm.
But for somebody that did 41 years in prison to only be out for 5 years, to have that impact, it let me know, like, and to have that loss, they both was tremendous losses. But to look at what's taking place, I know I have to put in more work
You got to
for
put
the
in work.
people, man, and for God, and stay on track with purpose.
Absolutely.
That's it. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, you gonna do it, man. I'm telling you, with everything that you got, God is blessed. God has opened up the doors, and He's using you, right?
Believe that.
I definitely need you to sign the book for me, right? You know,
Oh,
what
I
I'm saying?
got you. I got you, brother.
I'm gonna put this in my book of fame, right? You know what I'm saying? I got a couple of y'all brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? But this mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you created something, right? And this is of my brothers, right? So I can't wait to get home and dive right into it, man. And I'm gonna give you some reflections on, some of the things that I gained from it.
And I want to tell you, one thing about writing in prison, it's
Mhm.
like a way to hold yourself accountable. You
For
get
sure.
to see yourself.
Yeah.
So I didn't have no set day to be released.
Yeah.
I wish I had a set day like you will be released this day.
Yeah.
I'd be even more prepared. But I got spit out of that place.
Yeah.
But I had the faith.
Yeah.
I had the faith. So I was sitting up. I was like, man, let me go ahead and write my letters of gratitude right now. Hey, thank you. Hey, this and that, right? And I got spit out. I'm anticipating, but I don't know when. You know what I mean? So I got spit out, and being spit out like that means that you don't have the luxury of a work release, of something that'll bridle you. I had to come out here and deal with being an exoneree on a national level, dealing with relationships, trying to find my way through. And what I tell everybody, please go get help. Go get therapy.
Yeah.
Go get support groups. Get your family together. So I feel really blessed to be here, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Man, thank you for answering the call, baby. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had to
we
come
got
through.
more work to do. So
Well, we got some more work to do.
this is just one stop on the tour, right? You're gonna see more of Leon Benson. You're gonna see him Flint, Detroit, all around getting to it. We're definitely gonna have be in the community, getting with the people. But I hope you definitely, man, support the work of this brother. If incarcerated, you're coming home soon, you're exoneree, right? Definitely tap in with him, man. Got some resources for you. And there you have it, right? Another grand special of Royale X Politikin, right? Shout out to the team. Shout out to Coach Brian back there. Shout out to the Flintstone Girls Production. Sam, I see you, right? Sis, we see you over there holding it down. Baby girl in the back, sleep back there. But you know what? We're going to go ahead and lock this thing up, and we're going to check on out, right? Peace.